interesting, wasn't it? You know, how he dreams up these brilliant little interludes I shall never know. Not sure that I really care. Anyway, while you've been away enjoying yourselves, I've thickened the soup with a mixture of flour and butter. I've added some thick, rich Jersey milk to it. It is delicious. And if you cast your mind back to the beginning of the programme, where the senator was there, like, laying it on a bit like, I run the agriculture of this island, and everything that happens is all down to me. Well, it isn't really true. He, like any other politician, is only a minister, really. And behind him, there's a real expert, a real man who grades every potato, tastes every tomato, measures every strip of calabrese, susses out the scallops, and fiddles with the eels and things like that, or whatever he does. Anyway, he's the man I need to test my soup, and he's called Francois. Francois, it's great for you to come along on the show. Thank you very much indeed.
Not at all, not at all.
Now, you've got to be really straight with me.
Yep.
You are a Jersey man, born and bred.
Yes, I am.
I have reason to believe that you have eaten this in the past.
Oh, yes, yes. In fact, in this very house, great-aunt used to make that soup.
So, when you get to taste it, and I'm going to float my little marigold leaves on the top. Richard, just come in close to that. See the marigold leaves on the top? That's lovely. Francois, it's down to you. This is Floyd versus Jersey. Could you please taste it? Tell me what you think. It's a very worrying moment, chaps. Worry for me, pray, pray. Oh, superb. Now, is that true?
Superb. No, it is. It is.
And is it better than your granny used to make?
No, it's as good.
It's as good.
It's as good. It's as good. It is superb.
Oh, I'm very thrilled. Now, I know you like this, and I like it. I've made it. You're an old Jersey hand. You reckon it's great. But have we, in fact, resurrected a culinary dinosaur? I mean, do real people still eat Conger and marigold soup?
Of course they do. Of course they do. Not so much as they used to in the past. I think because we've got a cosmopolitan population now, we don't have so many of the Jersey people left, as it were. But there are still quite a number who love this.
I mean, what are we going to do to stop? I mean, wouldn't it be better if the states of Jersey, instead of not making cheese, there's a little bone I want to pick with you in a moment, by the way, propagated the ancient Jersey dishes? I mean, we're going down a hamburger and chips road, aren't we?
Well, I'm not. I prefer my wife to do all things fresh, and she, in fact, makes lovely vegetable soups, all fresh. Not out of packets, that's no good at all.
All right, that's very fine, but I'm still going to pick this bone with you. What about the Jersey cheese? You have got brilliant milk. Why aren't you making any cheese? And the other thing I want to complain about, and I mean this quite sincerely, Jersey's a fabulous island, but all its butter is in little tiny packets, and I really resent that.
Oh, that's not true.
It is. Why can't we in the restaurants have slabs of this fabulous butter and not these naff little
Ask
packets?
the hotelier.
Right.
That's not me.
Not you. Right. Your fault is the cheese. What about the cheese?
Well, I think we tried it, you see. We tried it once. The Milk Marketing Board here tried an experiment, and it didn't work. I think, it's only my opinion, I think it's because our milk is too rich. The cream is too rich. Guernsey do it, and they get a lovely cheese, I'm afraid to say. I love Guernsey cheddar.
Yeah, but aren't you, I mean, you're a bit of a hypocrite, because the last time I was here when I met you when we were doing the recce, you said, what really cheers a Jerseyman up is to turn into the sunset and see Guernsey on fire.
Oh, wait, come off it. I didn't quite say it like that.
You did. Anyway, you quite like my soup. Tell me you think my soup's okay in patois or argot or whatever you call it.
La soupe d'Anjou, c'était superbe. Absolument merveilleux.
There you go. Another day, another dinner. I think we cracked it. My mother, who's a brilliant cook, once said she'd rather dally in a butcher's than a dress shop any day. Well, I feel the same about markets. I prefer one of these Victorian cathedrals of gastronomy to the local museum or the local Roman bars. And isn't it good that Jersey has taken the trouble to restore this splendid hall to its original glory? A lesson that would be easily learnt by councils throughout the British Isles who've pillaged our heritage for the sake of car parking and double glazing stalls. I can think of one in South Molton, for example. Beautiful pannier market which should be restored. Anyway, that's not why I'm here to witter on. I'm here looking amongst this wonderful fish for a very shy and retiring species, which I hope to cook. Aha! There we are, the end of the quest. The elusive Ormer. Do you know, years ago, there were 1,000 these available in Jersey, and they only cost 2 shillings a dozen or something like that. Now they're about £1 each. And the other thing is, not only have they overfished them, but these are very highly strung little things, very sensitive, you know, and you have to go creeping up to them in the water and grab them before they notice that you're there. No heavy boots or things like that, or they go clunk onto the rock and you can't get them. Anyway, once you have got them, and we got these at great expense, as I said, they're nearly £1 each these days, you take these leathery little mollusks out, beat the living daylights out of them with a hammer, fry them in butter with onions, carrots, white wine, and parsley, chicken stock and things like that, put them in the oven overnight for about 24 hours. And then when you come back from a hard day in the pub or the allotment or something like that, you call out the old trout, "Where's my supper?" you say. And she brings out of the Argo this wonderful dish, unctuous dish of these things swimming in rich gravy, which when you've eaten these, you dip your bread into, swill it down, plate a mashed potato, and have a really fine time. And if you're really lucky, I'm going to cook these and you'll see exactly how to do it, if I don't forget, that is. Frank, Knight and Rutley would probably want about £750,000 for this little pile, but we're not proud, and anyway, beggars can't be choosers. I only wanted to use the kitchen for the afternoon, so I phoned up Caroline Griggs and said, "Hey, what about it? Can I use one of your 97 rooms to cook some Ormers in?" Hello, I'd like to welcome you to my humble fisherman's cottage, the sort of thing that typical Jersey fishermen have lived in for centuries, especially since they invented things like money, gold, and stuff like that. Anyway, we've got one. We've borrowed it, as we always do on this programme, because we're skint, and we're so skint that we're going to have to cook Ormers, which years ago, as I told you earlier, were a totally peasant dish. Today, they're for the rich and famous, people like me and you. Here they are, nasty, disgusting-looking things, rather as if they were sawn-off elephant's feet. And the first thing you've got to do is to scrub them into a presentable state. And you can't do that without invoking the products and the craft of a centuries-old tradition here in Jersey of the Ormer brush. Notice its hand-carved shape and the thumb gunnel there for correct grip. You walk over to the sink, you take one of these nice-looking things. They don't actually smell very nice, I'll tell you that. And you scrub and scrub and scrub, and you do that till you get really bored, and I'm really bored, okay? So you come back over here where you see a pristine Alice in Wonderland-style mother-of-pearl shell, which they also use for building garages. I mean, the Ormer, not the shell. You throw that away, you take it out, and you beat it, and I've just muddled that up a tiny bit, but that doesn't matter, because sometimes you can make mistakes on television, so I have to pick that one back up again, slide it out of the shell, and at the risk of damaging the recording equipment and the sound engineer's ears, I have to beat it really hard until it's flat. But by the magic of television, Richard, come over here, I have a load of them already beaten out. Rather like veal schnitzels or something like that. A piece of veal or a piece of pork is beaten out. That is the thing. Other bits of ingredient, are you looking at me or the food? Thank you. Is garlic, carrot, onion, and tomato. Is that... God, you're a thick cameraman. Is that tomato or onion? Thank you. Onion. Right, just checking you were paying attention. And some chopped parsley, butter, rich yellow Jersey butter, beautiful. A bit of ordinary flour. Don't think they grow wheat over here. And salt and pepper. And that's all we need. The only other thing we really need before we reset the lights, rearrange the camera things, is for me to have a slurp, you to get your notebooks and pencils, turn to page 73 for the scratch pack, on the Radio Times, because I want you to savour the smell when it's all cooked. See you in a moment. There you are, that's the carrot, the onion, the bacon, the garlic, frying away in butter. I don't need to explain all that to you. After all, you are BBC Two watchers, aren't you? Anyway, Richard, as you pan over here, you'll come into the Ormers, which are frying to their golden brown in butter. This is the Ormers, you see that. You're on the right dish, aren't you? Yes, answer me when I'm speaking to you. Yes. Oh, fine, that's great, right. Well, now, we've made those golden brown. We now have a few little simple things to do. So if you can wind that machine back onto the two dishes, might be difficult for you, stay with them while we put some red wine into the Ormers, some chicken stock, and those observant members of you who I don't... Come back again, come back. Because you weren't all paying attention. I didn't have chicken stock in the other sequence, did I? You forgot to notice, but there it is, it's in. Right, come back again. Then we put some parsley into that. That's the red wine, the chicken stock. Not confusing the camera any more than we have to, we tip. What are these called, Richard?
Oh, those are the other bits.
Those are the other bits. You see, he's really learning very well. Now, all that goes into... Come back. Goes into an earthenware dish, into the oven for, and you're not going to believe this, it's a very simple dish, of course, goes in there for 14 hours, which has completely wrecked our plans here on Jersey. We've had to have an extra overnight. That's a lot of money for the crew. Had to cancel our flight, And it means that I am going to drink Jersey dry between now and then. And now the moment of truth. 14 hours, 14 long, tedious hours have passed, and this much vaunted Jersey dish is about to be sampled by us all here. I tell you what, Richard, come up a minute. While those 14 hours have been going by, I've been doing good works, you know, lecturing to Boy Scouts, opening Women's Institute fetes and things like that, but much more importantly, I've pulled the most beautiful bird on the whole island, who, in her own right, is a fabulous cook, Caroline Briggs, and it's her kitchen we've pinched for the afternoon. And she is the unfortunate, or lucky, victim of this tasting session. Caroline, have a bite of that and let me know what you think of it all, because it is rather splendid. What I'm going to tell you about Caroline is that she is a superb cook, and if you're in Guernsey later on this year, you're in for a super-duper treat, but I can't really sort of say things like that because this is the BBC, but you'll work it out for yourselves. What do you reckon, my darling?
It's very good. It's got an interesting flavour.
What do you mean interesting?
Meaty, fishy.
What do you mean interesting? Well, I tell you what, if this is the dish we've all come for, quite frankly, John, I can leave it out. I'd rather have a plate of ox tongue and gravy and gherkins. And Jersey, I'm really sorry, maybe I blew it, maybe there's been a mistake, but quite frankly, I'd rather spend the rest of the day with you.